Well, welcome to Future Ready Live, where we talk about topics that help CPAs, CGMAs, finance and accounting professionals prepare for change and transformation. I'm Barry Payne, Director of External Relations here for the Americas at AICPA and CIMA. My beloved colleague Tom Hood is, so to speak, on assignment, so I'm delighted to lead this interview today. Now, with me is a close friend and someone who I respect deeply, Stacy Mahajan, CPA CGMA. Stacy is the Assistant Controller of Ambiq and also the new chair of our America's Regional Engagement Group here at AICPA and CIMA. Now, today we're going to talk about career development. We're going to talk about the benefits of volunteering, of course, the future of finance, and finally, the CGMA. Stacy, say hello to people.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Barry. Just really excited to be here and to just talk more about my journey and the CGMA.
Oh, it's awesome. Let's start off with just a little bit about our background together, because we've known each other for quite a while. But tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your career history. I think we met in the, dare I say, in the RV world, as I recall.
Yes. So my first degree is in criminology, and I looked for a job in that field, didn't really find anything, but was doing some accounting work for the company I was working for. And I was very interested in our controller seemed to know everything about the company, like in general, just various different facets of the company she seemed to know. So I was like, that's really interesting. So I decided to go back to school for accounting. I did a short stint at Baker Tilly and then went to PwC, where I was for a little over 4 years. And, I loved public accounting and everything it gave me, but it was time for me to move on. So I went to a privately held cable company. And that's kind of where I started to notice that there was a gap for me in thinking strategically, and I was still thinking like an auditor very much, and that was a struggle. So I started seeking out what could I be doing to sort of, take that gap and get rid of it, and so that's when I found the CGMA. So I did the review class, I did the self-study courses, and then I took the strategic case study exam and passed, and that was great. From there, I went to a variety of different roles in industry. So I have worked for publicly traded companies, private companies, less than $100 million companies up to over $1 billion companies. And yes, Barry, when we met, I was with Winnebago. And, now I'm at Ambiq, which is a startup in the semiconductor space. And I love how my journey has unfolded. And it's been really great.
And you're based up there, well, sort of down there from me. Austin, Texas, is that right?
Yes, Austin, Texas.
A number of years from the cold climate of Minnesota.
Yes.
But you've had various different roles. It's absolutely fantastic learning about your career history. But I know what's dear to your heart is the role of volunteering. And the reason why I mentioned Texas is I know that you're very, very involved with the Austin chapter of the Texas Society of CPAs and also AICPA and CIMA. So tell the audience a bit about why it's important to you to volunteer and what you personally get out of it.
Yeah, so I feel like volunteering for me is kind of the most meaningful part of my professional career. I think this career has given me a lot. I've been able to travel. I've been able to just have amazing experiences, and I feel like I want to give back to that community. I think volunteering is so important. It really gives you that purpose and that connection to what you're doing, sort of stretches you beyond your day-to-day role and gives you that meaning. And I think it's a really good way to kind of make your mark. There's a lot of volunteer positions that really do shape kind of the future and where these organizations decide to go and put their efforts. And so, being able to give that insight is really great, and just something that I feel people should give back, of their time, especially, just because, if you've been afforded a great career, it's a really, really good way to feel good, to give back, and then have that purpose and that connection.
No, it's awesome. We so deeply appreciate what you do for the profession. And I want to touch on two of those things now, because recently you were charged with being the chair of our Americas Regional Engagement Group, which for the audience is a small group of leaders representing corporate accounting and finance. They're effectively the eyes and the ears of the market, and make sure that you can give us feedback to direct the services, the product, the support that we provide to our members. So, well, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your appointment. I know you've been involved in some really, really awesome global calls with counterparts from around the world, but what are you most looking forward to as chair of that group?
Yeah, so I feel very excited that my term as chair has come at a sort of a really cool time of transformation. We've got the new CGMA syllabus, got a new CEO of AICPA, and it's just a really great time. We're also, as you mentioned, doing global calls, which is a really fun way of taking what we discuss in the Americas group and taking it back, and then also taking what we do globally on those calls and using that to sort of influence where we go in our calls. So I feel like the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is trying to get the word out about CGMA in the Americas in a way that is really meaningful and that really resonates with this market. Just because I think, the CGMA has really influenced my career and taken it places that I just know I wouldn't have gone without it, certainly as quickly. And so to me, getting the giving people that experience and being able to influence someone else taking it and changing their careers with CGMA is something that I'm really excited about. So I hope at the end of my term we've been able to get the word out in some maybe unique ways and just keep that influence going and pushing forward.
Oh, that's awesome. And I want to talk about your personal journey on CGMA as my final piece. But you mentioned kind of it's such a cool time to be chair in this period of transformation. And I think that transformation vibe is embodied in the work of our Future of Finance group, which is another group that we set up for progressive CFOs and controllers. Now, you've been a member from day one. You're part of the what we call the Finance Sisterhood. Tell the group a bit about the Future of Finance initiative and how it's perhaps shaped your own leadership thinking there.
Yeah, so I absolutely adore the Future of Finance group. For me, the group is really, it's made up of professionals that sort of live out the values that they talk about. This is a group that is constantly looking to get better. There's not a lot of egos in this group. People that genuinely bring to the table, their open minds, and the things we discuss are really sometimes hard topics, and but nobody comes with ego. It's all just like open minds and like let's get things done, which is why I always will go to the Future Finance Summit because it's kind of now, this will be my 4th year. And it's just a fun way. Now it seems like you're just meeting old friends, but every single conversation I have is like, ooh, that's a great point. That's a good idea. And it's really nice because it is groups from all different sizes and industries. And so you can take what you learn from those sessions and really apply it to what it means to you. And so for me, it's just a great group of professionals that I've learned a lot from. They keep me on my toes and sort of make me constantly reevaluate my leadership style and say, okay, is this the kind of leader I want to be? How can I be better? And yes, special shout out to the Finance Sisterhood, because this is a group of women that, we got together at the Future Finance Summit, and then we just remained really good friends and also, professional colleagues. So they've, we support each other through personal things, professional things. They were particularly influential in, an instance I was facing. It was sort of navigating some, office politics. I wasn't really sure what to do. And so just that one conversation made it so worth it. And, we really support each other throughout. But I'm super excited to meet up with them again in Colorado in December. And yeah, it's a group that I hold very near and dear because they constantly push me to be better as both a professional and personally, which is nice.
Yeah. I've seen, you grow as a group, and it's amazing work, that Tom, Kelly, and myself in our team are able to do. We're just convening, and it's just wonderful to see. And for those of you that are thinking, okay, well, what is this group? What's this Colorado thing? If you're a CFO, you're a controller, you want to lean into some of the things Stacy mentioned, just DM me on LinkedIn at Barry Payne. But one final question, okay? Chartered Global Management Accountant, you've been talking about this throughout our conversation. You are a proud holder of the CGMA. Just briefly, tell a few people as to what it's done for you. We feel this designation has huge potential, both in our marketplace, but for individual leadership. So, give some parting words to the folks out there and as to what it's done for you.
Yeah, so the CGMA has been completely transformational for my career because, again, I mentioned that I had a skills gap and I wanted to close the skills gap. And for me, it was the way that you think through things. And I wanted to be able to show somehow that I could think strategically and that I could take, different facets, not only technical accounting, but other facets of technology, things like that, and bring it together to help steer, really good business decisions. And so the great thing is that it's like an open book. I mean, it's you are doing you're doing a strategic case study exam, you learn the material, but it's very much real world, and it really helps you to learn what you need to do in order to communicate better, in order to drive strategic thinking. I mean, these are things that I still use to this day. I go back to when I took the exam in 2015, 2016, maybe, and I use a lot of that. I think that it really does show, especially employers, that you're able to think outside the box, and that it's not just numbers. It's not certain metrics. Definitely, you have to know those things, but it's about how do you use that to make the best business decisions. And so I thought the CGMA was so great for that. And I thought the review course was for me like a mini MBA. And so again, I use it all the time. And for advice for people, I would say go for it. You are not going to regret this for a second. And it's so worth the time, just because I think a lot of people will just be surprised at how, okay, wow, this is something I haven't maybe thought of before. And you're so in the day to day, and this makes you kind of step back and say, okay, I'm learning a new industry for a period of time, and you really get to hone those skills, and it is absolutely amazing.
It's been brilliant to watch your growth, and just glad that that's some part of it. So listen, I'm going to wrap up here, audience, as we get to around about 12:20 somewhere in the world on a fine Tuesday afternoon. We've talked about your career journey, Stacy, which I love, and the importance of volunteering to you. But particularly, we focused on two groups, being chair of the Americas Regional Engagement Group, which is part of a global collective of groups for the AICPA and CIMA, and also the Future of Finance group. So anyone interested in that can certainly DM me after LinkedIn Live. What's really cool about the work that you and others do is it keeps us honest on the type of resources that we need to provide. So at our Engage conference in June, we introduced a new corporate accounting and finance hub for AICPA members and CGMAs, and we'll make sure that we drop a link into the chat with that hub. And thank you for the kind words on CGMA. We'll also drop a link on the CGMA to folks, and anyone that's more interested in that can certainly just reach out to me independently. So for more on me, you know where to find me. You know where to find Tom, as always. You can follow Stacy or Hannah LinkedIn handle. Thank you for joining me today, Stacy.
Thanks, Barry.
Incredible to share your story with others on this platform. Tom will be back in a couple of weeks' time, but for now, I'll see you soon, and take care, folks.